Well, Renaissance Guy trying to change with another video on the stupidity and the idiocy of our government and the absolute useless, inconceivable idiocy that now surrounds the Houses of Parliament, members of Parliament and civic leaders. So I've been watching quite a lot live on Parliament, and when you watch it live you get the full story. You get exactly what you should be seeing. They cannot interfere with the live. The live is there to basically help you see what is being discussed. And I watched quite a bit of this conversation. One idiot gets up and asks our Prime Minister, are you going to make a law about sacrilegious behaviour and preventing that, and make it an offence to speak sacrilegiously about any of the Abrahamic religions, including Islam, Judaism, Christianity, etc. Now, speaking as a person who has been brought up in a Christian religion, there are fundamental problems with this behaviour. I don't specifically like sacrilegious and disrespectful comments about religion. I don't. I find it distasteful. But you see, whether or not I find it distasteful should not mean that it becomes an offence. The freedom to express thoughts, ideas, all these things is an inherent human right. We need to express ideas. We need to have contradictory ideas. Saying to make something a hate crime. For instance, I dislike the Islamic religion intensely. I have fundamental problems with the Islamic religion. I will state very clearly, not the people as a whole, but the religion itself I have problems with. I don't like it. And there are probably people who could say the same about the religion I grew up in. And at this moment in time, I am trying to reconcile myself with those beliefs and live to that. Some people don't like Christianity at all. Some people hate Catholicism and dislike Catholicism. And, you know, we should have the right to be able to say that. Free will and the freedom to express is one of the most fundamental human rights that anybody could ever have. And quite frankly, I would defend somebody's ability to be able to say they don't like this religion or that religion or that. I can say that in my own personal experience, I have found differences in different religions. Some I like, some I don't like. But I stand by the freedom to practice that religion, because that is what free will is all about. The ability to criticize, offend, and quite frankly, to speak out against something is there to make people think. And sometimes to grow beyond that criticism, to become tougher skinned, to accept the fact that there's going to be opposition. In fact, you could even say it is a test of faith to see if you can act in accordance with your religious beliefs in dealing with that. If someone criticizes you and is derogatory about your religion, and your religion says that you need to love people, you need to look after people, you need to hold a high regard, whatever it might be, you are then obliged, whether or not this person is being critical of your religion, you're required to undertake that task to love them and to accept that person has those issues, and to, say, well, you know what, yeah, you may disagree with me, but I don't hate you. You could, in fact, even say that is a tenet of some major mainstream religions. To make things like that a hate crime, to make it an offence, to restrict, it's a ridiculous movement that is bound in tyranny, that is bound in slavery, that is bound in domination to subjugate the citizenry. The government shouldn't even be considering that. Anybody who moves to even make a suggestion like that should be dismissed. That is not what social leaders are there to do. Social leaders are there to establish law and order, a way of life where everybody can go around, do what they need to do, live their daily lives, and to protect the country from harm. Being critical or being of an opposite view to someone else, and to say that you do not like something, is not a threat to someone's life. The only time it is obviously if you actually act like that and act as a terrorist towards people, to frighten people into being subverted to whatever religion or belief you have. That's abominable and of course should be stepped with. But someone to turn around and say I don't like this or I don't like that is not hate. It's not this, it's not like, it may be a dislike or anything, whatever it might be. It is their opinion and thought processes, and the right to freedom of speech and the right to freedom of expression, which are two different things, should be unrestricted. Hell, the amount of times I've been insulted. If I don't want to deal with someone, or I find someone insulting me, I merely have to walk away from it and say, hey, I don't have to have anything to do with you. And I've done that time and time again. It has not affected me. Any government seeking to do what the people are trying to do in Parliament now are not your leaders. They are not the people that you want leading. They're domineering, they're tyrannical, and they have a lust for power to put the citizenry into the vilest of slavery. We need to be very careful about how we restrict thought, speech, expression. And this government is acting like the Fourth Reich, and Kier Starmer is literally a reincarnation of Hitler and Stalin themselves. Not that I believe in reincarnation, but his actions are like that, and we need to stand and perhaps in some cases rebel and stand against him, and if necessary to say, we the people want you out. Now, if you haven't signed a petition for a general election, and despite what Kier, Adolf, Hitler, Starmer says about there's a lot of people who didn't vote Labour, there's a lot of people who did vote Labour and who are disgusted with the Labour Party and his leadership. There are MPs who have resigned due to Keir Starmer's actions, and the latest one, actually, he chose when she had a criminal record for fraud. Is this a leader that we really want at the head of our country? So I would encourage people, sign the petition, get this Labour Party removed, the cabinet removed, get in Reform UK, whereby the indigenous people are protected, that the people actually flourish and grow. I would strongly suggest that people do that. Let's not take any more of Keir Starmer and his Nazi party of England. Let's not give them any more room to grow. He's a globalist and he does not want any good thing to happen for the UK. He is systematically destroying it from within. He's a joke, he's incompetent, and his cabinet are full of disgusting neo-Nazi tyrants. Let's get rid of them.